So, guys, the time is currently almost 7 p.m. And today I binged again. I came back from the gym and I decided to just stuff my face with food. To quiet down this inner chatter, to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna live life with like if there's no responsibilities. And what did that leave me with is that I became fat. And I'll show you guys. This is more than a bulk or run, as you guys can see. When you give up in life, you become like a fat fuck. And this is the last thing you want to become. And I don't agree with my actions, but obviously it is already done. I don't like to get fat. I don't like to be fat. I don't like to live life as if it is meaningless. And most importantly, I hate to just live life and live it like I don't care and see myself just slip away. See myself become less of a person that I said I was going to become, to see myself become less as a person who I believe myself to be. And that feeling sucks, which is why whatever this is I'm doing to myself, this distraction or this avoidance or whatever this is, this needs to stop, right? This hindrance, this BS, this self destruction I am putting myself through, this needs to stop, right? Pronto. This needs to stop. Because if it doesn't, I will tell you guys what is going to happen. In a few days, my gut is going to extend. I'll probably lose more hair. My forehead is going to get bigger. And perhaps I'll age 20 years more. Because that is a man without a purpose. That is a man without a vision. And that is a man who said he gives up in his life and he decides to allow his emotions to dictate every single actions and live like an average person. And that is my worst nightmare. And a lot of us don't want to be that person. But sometimes our distractions get to us. And sometimes we don't wake up when the distraction becomes our lifestyle. And when that happens, a lot of us don't try anymore. A lot of us give up, and those people become the worst of themselves. And it is sad to see ourselves slip up and become our worst enemy. And that is the last thing I want to see any of us becoming in our life, in the journey of greatness that ends up becoming a journey of self destruction. So, if you are bothered by whatever vices it is out there, whatever distraction, whatever the temptation, whatever urges, no matter how many times you relapse, no matter how many times you gave in to these feelings, never give up hope. Never say you can't do it. Never say that today I cannot put down whatever it is I am consumed or addicted by. Because the moment you do that, I'll promise you, you won't turn back. You won't get back to your journey of growth. Matter of fact, you will only regress. You will only go down the rabbit hole further and become the person you're avoiding your whole life. And that is the worst version of yourself. So yes, today I binge ate. Today I ate like if I was an obese guy. Today I absolutely just destroyed my body. Just destroyed my body and let myself slip and saw myself slip and acted recklessly. And a part of me is regretting for the actions I have done. A part of me is hating myself for picking this unwise choice and for not sticking with the routine which I have consistently stick with for the past few days. And I was doing good. A part of me was mad at myself for doing this. But a part of me also knows that this will not last. That whatever this is I'm doing to myself, will stop. Because if it doesn't, I am going to become worse every single day. And I will not allow myself to do that. I will be damned to allow myself to crumble every single ounce of the work I have built over the years. Now, that is plain foolish. But it may not sound foolish to someone who slipped up in his consistency, who slipped up in his journey of greatness and allowed a distraction to get to him. And sometimes we view that distraction as the world crushing down to us, as an adversity that we will never come back from. Sometimes we are so defeated by that distraction that we say that this life of growth, this life of hardship, of whatever it is you're trying to build is not for me, that I am not destined for greatness. And when you set that belief and you plant that seed in your mind, that will become the truth. So, yes, we all slip up. We all make mistakes. We all fuck up. And that is the end of the day. Our journey of growth will have a lot of unforeseen and unpredictable changes along the way, a lot of difficulties along the way that we will have to overcome eventually. This will build character. And I know that if I made the right choice, I wouldn't have to deal with this setback. But what is the truth is I did make this wrong choice. I did screw up again. I could have and I should have and I could have stayed consistent and stayed clear with my intention when I came back from the gym. Of course I could, but I didn't. I allowed my emotions to take over. And that is when I have to ask myself, why is it that I decided to slip up again? Why is it that I decided to just self destruct once again when I know that life is going great already? And that is the question I have to ask myself. And perhaps when I answer that question, I no longer will be here regretting for the bad choices I'll be making because I'll stop making them. But either or, today has to end. This species, this whatever this is, has to stop. Why? Because I am getting fat. I cannot continuously keep on binge eating, no matter if it feels good or no matter if it stops this inner chatter. Like I care about my body image more than my voices in my mind. So if it means I have to overcome the voices in my mind, which I had before, then I would rather than to see myself slip and to get fat, to feel fat, to sweat always because I am fat. That is the worst feeling I have to go through. So I rather listen to this guy up here than to hold an extra few kilos on my gut, walking around a bit body shamed because I have allowed my life to slip. So that is all I gotta say for today. And I know it has been quite disappointing, well, for me the most, to not really put forward today my best foot and go ahead with, well, achieving my goals. But I know that is going to be fine. This is only a day out of my whole life. But certainly this cannot last because what I have to do to rebuild the damages I have done today will take a few weeks. But yeah, that is what I predict. But obviously, the only way to overcome your adversities is to do the right thing. If you don't, and if you continue on making mistakes, well, you are only going to regress your progress even further. And that is the last thing I would want to do because I don't have an eon to live in this earth. My time is limited. So I cannot just keep taking steps back and taking steps forward. I have to be a straight shooter and know exactly what I must do every single day and stay away from these, well, pointless vices. That being said, I hope you guys have learned something from this tonight. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, good night.